a lot of experiences like that. One time I was giving a presentation in my class and I said corporation. My professor had to stop me. She was like, Ugo, what's corporation? I'm sorry, I had to stop you. Like, what's corporation? I said, corporation. She said, corporation. I was like, corporation of people. She's like, you mean cooperation? I was like, yeah, cooperation, whatever that is. Okay. If your dog dies, it's enough for you to not come to class because your dog died. In Nigeria, if your dog died, are you okay? Are you like, how is that our problem that your dog died?
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Valeen Oseh again, and today I am having our beautiful bride. Guys, you've seen her before on my channel. I uploaded a video some time ago where we had like a Friendsgiving, and you guys have seen her in that video. She was recently married, and today we're just going to be discussing with Ugo about her life in the United States of America as an international student from Nigeria. Ugo's case is very unique. Now, before you begin to wonder why I'm saying her case is unique, listen. This girl traveled for 7, close to 10 times during her stay in under 2 years in the United States of America. And she successfully planned a wedding during COVID, and she graduated. Guys, let me not just spill the tea. So Ugo is going to tell us everything about herself, her journey coming to the United States of America, life in the United States of America, life after masters in the United States of America, and everything in between. So Ugo, please introduce yourself to us, and we can't wait to hear all the juiciness.
Okay, hi everyone. So my name is Ugo, as Valeen already introduced me, and I'm a Nigerian, of course, Igbo girl from Delta State. Yes. So of course, I'm going to be talking about my experience here as an international student in the United States. So firstly, before I start, I'll say that your expectations as an international student differs based on you and based on the state you're also coming to. So this is based off of my own experience, so don't quote me anywhere, okay? So before I start, I'll talk about the school and why I chose UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham. Okay, actually, I'll start by saying that I got admission to 3 different schools.
Great.
So I chose Birmingham, Alabama, the University of Alabama, Birmingham, because
before you tell us the reason why you chose the University of Alabama, what other schools were you admitted?
Okay, so I got admission to 3 different schools. I got admission to the University of Massachusetts in Lowell. I got another one at Oregon State University, and then I got the University of Alabama, Birmingham. So those 3, all for the same program for public health, for a master's degree in public health. So I chose this school because amongst the 3, I think this one had, the tuition was a bit more, it was fair, it was cheaper than other 3. And of course, Massachusetts was very expensive. That one was Gucci. Our school fees was Gucci. So I was like, okay, let me go for something cheaper. And then Oregon State was also cheap, kind of. I won't say, let me not use the word cheap. I'll just say it was more affordable for me. But the thing was, I looked at the place because I'm someone that before I move to a place, I must check out the environment. I don't move blindly to any state or any place. So I checked Oregon State and I was like, I'm not sure this is a place I would like to be. And I checked Birmingham. Birmingham looks really okay. It looks cool on the internet. I mean, I could see a few skyline and all. I was like, okay, fine. At least the downtown looks cool. So I was like, fine, I'll move to this state. So basically I chose, so then another reason I chose this school was because I saw that it was also a very diverse place. I looked up the school, I checked their YouTube, and luckily for me, I saw an interview of a Nigerian guy. I'm not really going to call his name. So I watched his interview and I was like, oh, nice, there's a Nigerian guy. So I was excited. And somehow I reached out to this guy on Instagram. I found his Instagram, reached out to him and everything. So I was just happy that I'm not just coming to a place where I'll be the only Nigerian. I already started seeing my own Nigerian people. Because there's something about you going to a place that is inclusive. You don't want to be the only African student in the whole school or the only Nigerian in your class, or you feel left out. So UAB is a very inclusive place. Very open, very diverse. and has a lot of multicultural activities going on here. So that was like another reason why I chose the school. Because even when my family, they were like, why Alabama of all places? Even till now, anybody that I tell I'm in Alabama, they're like, why is that on the map, please? So that kind of thing. But I'm glad I came here, and it's been really an amazing experience for me. And you want to ask something?
Yeah, I was going to say that because I mean, like when you talked about, the decision for UAB, and then you talked about inclusiveness, I was like, oh my God, I mean, that is something that any blazer would talk about, because I mean, I'm probably a blazer. So guys, I just didn't want to like say too much, because it doesn't look like, okay, because I went to UAB and she went to or something like that. But UAB is super, super inclusive.
Yeah.
And you just have that feeling like you're not just alone. You have people around you. If you're looking for any country, I mean, we have over 100 countries represented at UAB.
Yeah.
But my next question would be, you came here for your master's in public health. Now, tell us how that experience was for you. What is the price point? What is the, curriculum like? Is it, challenging as an international student? How are the professors like? What was your experience generally? And, what are the prospects for anyone wanting to come to study MPH or, anything like that?
Yeah. So MPH degree is, first of all, Master of Public Health, an amazing degree. And UAB doesn't just offer MPH. They allow you have a concentration in whatever aspect of the degree you want. So we have, we all graduate as an MPH student, but with different concentrations. We have epidemiology, we have concentration in biostatistics, we have concentration in health behavior, we have in maternal and child health, and we have in environmental health and occupational health, which is what I did, environmental and occupational health. So depending on your choice. So that's one good thing about this, about the MPH program that is being offered in UAB. You're not just graduating as a general MPH student. You get the chance to pick whatever concentration you want, depending on what you want to focus on, like in what area you want to focus on. So for me, I was interested in environmental and occupational health, and so I did my concentration in that. So concentration just means that you're going to take more. We all have our general MPH classes, but you're going to take more classes in that concentration, more environmental health classes. If you're doing EPI, more EPI classes. So you're going to do EPI core, you're going to do core and other core health behavior programs or something like that. So that's what I mean by concentration. So, but it was really an amazing experience for me. Coming here, well, I would say at first, because this is the first time I'm schooling abroad, really. So I would relate this to culture shock, because as much as we speak English, they speak English. It's different.
Totally.
It's totally different. So don't just think you are coming to a place where they speak English, so you're going to flow. No. I know how many times in class I got marked down for grammar. Me, that in my mind, I did write. Like, they marked me down for grammar, especially because you use some terms they are not used to.
True.
You use words, their past tense you're not used to. If you say length, I learnt that. They will circle the T. What is length? It's not like length here. It's learned with an ED. You can't say you dreamt of something. You dreamed of something. Do you understand? I'm talking to my professors. I'm saying shadow, and they're thinking I'm saying shadow. All those kind of things. They think I'm saying shadow. I'm like, no, I have to write it down. And then they'll be like, oh, you mean schedule? I'm like, yes, I mean schedule. Like, those kind of things. So English is different from English, especially when you're coming with you're used to this whole British English thing. Like, for real. I had a lot of experiences like that. One time I was giving a presentation in my class and I said corporation. My professor had to stop me. She was like, oh girl, what's corporation? I'm sorry, I had to stop you. Like, what's corporation? I said, corporation. She said corporation. I was like, corporation of people. She's like, you mean cooperation? I was like, yeah, cooperation, whatever that is, okay? So those kind of things. And because of that, it made it harder for me to want to talk in class. I have a question I can't ask because I don't want to ask and they tell me, they'll be like, sorry, say that one more time. I don't understand what you're saying. Do you understand? So I didn't like talking in class. I'll just be quiet. even when I have a serious question to ask, I either wait when everybody has, I go and meet the professor and just let it go. Let's just do the whole, what are you talking about, one-on-one. Instead of the whole class doing, do you get? So that's what that's like one of the problems I would say I really faced in class. But with the curriculum and all, it was straightforward, easy to understand. The slides are very easy to understand. Even if you can't really hear what they're saying in class, just go back home, open your slides, read your slides, look at, you can get textbooks, you can look up materials online. It will help you, trust me. So curriculum was quite easy. MPH is I won't say it is easy. Easy is relative to different people. But as a Nigerian, if you're coming from a place where you are like, our education system is very strict. Very strict in the sense that you have to cram, you have to read. They teach us how to be. Do you get? So you have that ginger already in you, because here they are very laid back, in my opinion. They have a lot of excuses they give. You're not coming from a place where you give unnecessary excuses. Here, if your dog dies, it's enough for you to not come to class because your dog died. In Nigeria, if your dog died, are you okay? Are you like, how is that our problem that your dog died? So we're very we take education seriously. It's just unfortunate that our educational system is not as good. But if you come with that zeal, that ginger here, trust me, you can make all A's in your classes till you graduate. So yeah, MPH was an amazing program for me, and I'm glad that I chose that.
All right, you mentioned something that you said easy is relative, because some people easy might be difficult, some people easy.
Yeah.
So do you think somebody without a background in say public health or something medical related can actually do well in a master's in public health? Or what was your background in, and how did that help you in your master's in public health?
Okay, so first I'll answer your first question. Yes, I think anybody with any degree can do public health. So that is another reason why I liked my class. My class had lawyers, had engineers, had doctors, had nurses, had pharmacists. I'm a pharmacist. I did my bachelor's in pharmacy. So for me, actually, I wanted to do a master's degree in pharmacy. But then I just said, you already have this pharmacy degree. It's always with you. Why don't you get something else? That way you can be also diverse in your, my job or whatever. So I decided to get public health, to get a public health degree. So yes, anyone can get a public health degree rather. So we had business students. I think I had an MBA person too in my class doing both public health and MBA together, something like that. So, and that's because public health is not just, like I said, there are different concentrations. It's not just about the medical side. So we have health policy too as a concentration. So people in the business aspect focus on the health policy part because they are the admin people. While the medical people focus on EPI, while the ones going for research, while the environmental health and occupational health people, like the medical people too, go for also environmental, because those ones you're going into the field, do you get? But people who want to work, who want to do more of policy, who want to do more of admin work, who want to do, how will I put this? Basically, if you want to go into the policy aspect, formulating policies, those business people can do that part. So we had a lot of business people. I think even my roommates at the time, I think she was doing, I can't remember, she's also a business person. She took some public health classes.
Wow.
So yeah, so anybody can actually do a public health degree.
Okay, so how are, assignments? Do you people do like group work, team projects and things like that? How was it for you? Was it like, you have only one assignment in 1 month, or how was it like for you?
Okay, so for the assignment part, it depends on the lecturer or the professor rather. So I had classes where I had assignments back to back every week, individual assignments. I had classes where I did group projects every week. So either ways, both of them worked for me, because I'm someone that if you tell me to do my assignments individually, I'll do it, I'll go ahead with it. If I'm also in a group, I'm also very active in a group. Sometimes I carry the whole group on my head. that's the kind of person. So the thing is, a lot of people like group projects and a lot of people hate group projects. If you're the type that people that like group projects are people that they're not the type that likes to be at the forefront. They want to hide. So before you know it, they'll just hide at the back. Others will be doing the project. They'll just say one or two things. And then at the end of the day, they get their full mark. Do you get? So those kind of people. So me, I didn't care. Individual assignments are good. Group assignments are good. Either ways. And so, like I said, it depends on the class. Depends on the professor. We had assignments. Coming back to back.
Okay. How many semesters did you take for your courses to graduate? I remember you coming in through, was it the pathway program or the
Yes
program? Can you also talk more about that and how that played into your master's in public health?
Okay, so the pathway program is just an easy way to get into the United States. So for me, in fact, before my plan wasn't to come to the US to school. I'm just trying to give an example of a reason as to how I came in through the pathway program. I didn't want to come to the United States. For me, it was always Canada. That was my love.
Everybody
wanted to go to Canada. Yes, because it's easier for the life that's easier. So I wanted to go to Canada basically. But anyone who is in a medical degree or wants to do a medical a master's in a medical field should know that it's not easy to get admission because you need to get an advisor already in the school that is ready to sponsor you before you can get the admission. So most times the professors will always tell me, oh, they don't have funding for international students, or they are out of funding at the moment, or they don't even reply So I spent 1 year applying to those schools and they did not get back. Like I couldn't get an admission. So I was like, I can't keep wasting my time. Before I knew it, my sister was already on her way to the UK for masters, my junior sister. I was like, because of Canada, what if maybe that's not even where I'm meant to be really? So I was like, you know what? One day I just walked into one agency. I was like, get me an admission to the US. I want to do public. I don't even want pharmacy masters. Just give me public health. So the guy was like, okay, no problem. We'll help you get an admission, but do you have a GRE? I was like, huh? He said GRE. I said, no, I just have only my TOEFL. He was like, you need to write your a GRE for you to be able to get direct entry. I was like, I don't know that way. He said, there's another way, but you have to do a pathway program that costs more. I was like, no problem. At this point, I didn't have time to write GRE again. I just wanted to get admission and just, leave the country. So that was how I got into INTO. It's called INTO program. So INTO, I think that just means into the university. So you do like an English program first. Then when you pass, you now get admission direct. You now get an admission into the school. So that's how I got into INTO. INTO wasn't totally bad, to be honest, because they kind of took care of us as an international students. There are a lot of things that direct entry students did not,
like
benefits
me,
that they did not enjoy.
Like me, I didn't even enjoy a lot.
We didn't have a problem of where to stay when we first come. And that's like the biggest problem that international students always have when they come into a new place. Where housing is always a problem. INTO are already taking care of us. They give you the option to stay in the school hostels if you want or not. Me, I already said I'll stay because I can't be looking for where to stay when I come. So that's the good thing about INTO. They take care of you, like excursions or different things. There's food. You have access to food. Like, no, they really, really took care of us. And it doesn't just stop there. As far as you're an INTO student, you get certain benefits till you graduate. As far as you're an INTO student, there's certain benefits you get if you graduate. For example, the those programs, when you come in, they teach you culture shock, all those kind of things. We have access to those learning centers till we graduate. It's not just for the first semester. Then we have tutoring too.
Yes.
As an INTO student, it's not only your first semester. Till you graduate, you can always come back for tutoring. You can always come back. So those are the benefits you get as an INTO student. But I don't know how it works for direct entry. I don't know.
We didn't.
You guys, you didn't get all that.
I didn't remember, because sometimes I'll be seeing was it Toby or somebody else that'll be going for excursion. I'm like, why are you people going to?
Oh yeah, we had excursions.
It's like, no, it's INTO. I felt left out, to be honest, and I think that's why I didn't quite bond with a lot of other fans and people like that. Funny enough, I was always on my own, but I mean, if you have such events and then you get to meet people and then the tutoring, you didn't have that tutoring part, at all. So
Exactly.
yeah, you guys really.
And even like during the weekdays, we have like something they call like all these their coffee days, coffee
Yeah.
dance. We have food festivals. Like this week, the Chinese people will cook. Next week, the Indians will cook, Nigerians will cook. So we had all those kind of things. So you can't say you came to school, you not see food to eat at least one day. You must see something to eat before you go back to your dorm. So we had those kind of benefits really. So it wasn't, the money we paid wasn't totally bad at the end of the day, because they were taking care of us like babies and all. So there was another question you asked, so I don't get that.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Something you asked about INTO and something else.
How many semesters or something?
Oh yeah, how many semesters it took me to graduate? Yes, you're right. So let me tell you something about this America. First of all, it doesn't matter when you start. You can finish whenever you like, as long as you're not taking less than 9 and above 12. So some of us start the same semester, but some people graduate a semester after. Some graduate. I have people I started with, they graduated like a semester before me. And then in the summer, you don't get to take classes. It's your choice to take or not take classes. So for me, I used 5 semesters to graduate, minus my first, I started in 2019, January. So the summer of that year, which started in May, I didn't take any class. So that was it. So I took, 5 semesters in general to graduate. And I graduated last year, December 2020.
Yes. So guys, I also want to chip in something. The graduation video, I think it was also in my graduation vlog where we went to where did we go to again?
Oh, what's that place? What's that place again? One Mexican place like that. I
wanted to finish me because I
had horrible tacos. I love tacos, but that's one American food. I think I wouldn't even say American food. It's a Mexican food, but they eat it very well here. But that was like the worst tacos I've had in my life. The worst.
Guys, they finished me. So you can watch that video as well. And you can also follow her on Instagram to check. Don't worry, we're coming to that part. All right. So guys, let's talk about, can someone actually get funding? How is funding for, the MPH program at UAB? And apart from getting funding, how is tuition like for the MPH program? So that somebody who's aspiring to come here for an MPH program actually have an idea of what the tuition is like.
So for our different MPH concentrations, we have different credits for that. So mine was 44 credits, but each credit at the time was $1,061. So 44 credits times $1,061. That's what your total tuition is, and that's minus your housing costs, your living expenses, and all that thing. So just the tuition. So $1,061 times 44. That was for my program. Some people had 38 credits. Some people had 42. So that's it. So that depends. But so it's whatever your total credit hour is times whatever the tuition is for international students at the time. So now I think it must have gotten up to 1,100.
Yeah, because it increased. Yeah,
it increased it. So yes, so that's what it's like. So you should be looking at close to 50,000, from between $44,000 to $50,000.
Yeah, for just the whole program.
For the whole program. That's your housing and all of that. Yeah. And as for getting funding is very, very, very possible, but very hard because you're an international student. So the department always has, they always have scholarships going on. And in fact, before I even get to that scholarship part itself, so you know how there are some jobs you get that can also help them give you in-state tuition. Like if you're a graduate teaching assistant, you can get like in-state tuition if you have that kind of job. So for MPH program, I think they canceled that. So even if you're a graduate teaching assistant, there's no in-state anymore for that. So just take your mind off that. But for other departments, I think if you're a GA, you can get in-state. So that is it for MPH. You can't get that. But other ways you can get in-state, you can apply for scholarships. I'm sorry, not in-state. Other ways you can get funding. You can apply for scholarships. There are always open scholarships, no matter the amount you see. Just apply and gather as many as you can. But like I said, it's very hard because what they consider you as an international, they are considered every other person. They are citizens and all. So there are some that are peculiar for people who are internationals. there are some scholarships that are specifically for international students. So you can also look into applying for those ones, and you could get it too. So that's what I can say about scholarships, really, and funding.
Is it easy for someone to come to UAB for the MPH program and then find a job related to your field?
That is, yes, very, very true. You can always get a job related to your field and also outside your field. So for me, during my MPH program, I started getting used to, the professors, started knowing the courses and the programs I would like to there's a job called teaching assistantship that we always have here. So I wanted to be a teaching assistant. So for you to be able to get that job, most times it's good for you to get close to your professors. You need to be close to your professors because that way they already know what you're capable of doing, especially if you've taken a class with them and you did excellently well. Even if they don't have a position for you, they can refer you to some other person and be like, hey, this student is really, this student is excellent. And trust me, my professors, I don't know about other professors, they're like, they were out there for people who were doing good, whether you're international or not. If you were good in their class, they will speak for you anywhere. Like there's this particular professor that I took a class my first semester here. It was like a very hard class. It was a calculation class. I didn't even know that we used to do that kind of thing in MPH program. It was like maths all through, or let's say physics all through. And I really I blazed this woman's class. Like anytime she sees me and she's introducing me to someone, she's like, Ugo, this girl, she's going to argue with you in your class. Like she will tell you, no, this is not how to do it. This is how you're supposed to do it. Like she always says nice things about me. Like I'm an excellent student and all. So she referred me to many other professors, telling them that, oh, can she work with you? Can she do research with you? Can she be your teaching assistant? That kind of thing. So I ended up getting through her, I got a research job that I was doing. So that's one job you can get in your field. I got a research job. I was working at the toxicology department at the MPH, the School of Public Health building. Then I also got a teaching assistantship job. That one I applied for it on my own, but of course you have to have good grades to be a TA.
Of course.
For that one. So that one I got it on merit and all. I just got my CA job. And then when I started working with the woman, she noticed that I was really good. And then she just kept me, she didn't change all her other courses she was taking over the semester. She didn't even want anybody to apply. She would just go straight to the HR and tell them that I already have my TA. This is who I want to be my TA. So I didn't even look for a job for too long. I just had one job and I just did it all through while I was in school. So yes, when you're in school, you can always get a job, but you need to make sure that your grades also speak for you.
That's excellent. So, wow, I really like the fact that we've actually talked about everything masters in public health. I don't think we missed out anything. We've talked about, how much it costs, the pathway program if you want, or the direct entry or direct, master's program part. We also talked about the number of semesters it took you to graduate. And we talked about finding a job, all the options available. We talked about your background, if you needed to have a medical background for you to do well in the program. And I think we didn't miss out anything, but if there's anything that you feel we didn't answer, you can also let us know in the comments down below, and Ugo will definitely respond to your questions as well. So now we're going to move on to you telling us how you were able to pull off a successful Bella Ninja wedding. The talk of the town, the talk of Nigeria, the talk of Abuja, the talk of Delta State, as an international student.